So today we're working with volumes of pyramids. So here's a pyramid. A pyramid is basically a solid that has a base, in this case, right here, that is directly across from an apex at the very top. So it comes to a point, much like this, okay? And the base can be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be any shape, all right? But the point being is you've got it coming to an apex right there, and then all around the sides of it are triangles, okay? Now, when working with volumes of pyramids, sometimes it's helpful to think about the relationship between a pyramid's volume and a prism's volume. So if I had the exact same base from this pyramid as I do on this prism right here, like I do here, all right, and I like to shade the top and bottom of the base there for prisms, there's a simple relationship between these two, okay? If you know the volume of a prism with the exact same dimensions as a pyramid, what we can do is simply divide it by 3. All right? It actually takes 3 pyramids to come up with the exact same volume as a prism with the same dimensions, which makes it very convenient to work with because we know the volume of a prism formula is area of the base times the height of the prism. And since we know the volume formula for a prism, and a pyramid is a third of that, or divided by 3, we just simply take this formula and divide it by 3. And that's your pyramid formula. So to find the volume of this pyramid, take the area of that base, multiply it by the height, and the height goes from the base all the way to the apex. Here, I'll label it with an H. All right? And then divide it by 3. Okay? So let's do some examples so you can see this in action here. All right. So we've got this pyramid right here. And we know here is the apex of it, the point that it comes to. So this is my base. And if I want to find the volume of this pyramid, I'm going to take the area of this base, and it's a square apparently, 12 by 12. So I'll do 12 times 12. And then I'm going to multiply it by the height. And the height goes from the base straight up to the top. In this case, that's 26. And then the last step, because it's a pyramid, divide by 3. All right? So it's not that much different than a prism. If this was a prism and it didn't come to a point here, it would just be 12 times 12 times 26. But because it's a pyramid, we also have to divide by 3. All right? So let's see what we end up getting here. 12 times 12 times 26 divided by 3. Boom. There we go. 1,248. And the units on this are centimeters cubed. All right. Not too bad. All right, let's do one more example. And this time it's the opposite of what I was just doing because this time I'm going to give you the volume. It says, find the unknown dimension if the volume is 960 cubic centimeters. Write and solve an algebra equation. So notice, in this case right here, here's our base. Because here's our apex. All right, so what we're missing is the height. But we're going to set up an algebra equation to figure out what that height is. So the volume formula for a pyramid, area of the base, 15 times 12, times the height, which we don't know, I'll call it x, and then divide by 3. And that should equal our volume. And in this case, the volume they tell us is 960. And that's my equation that I'm going to work with. All right? So if I want that height, I just have to solve this equation. And it helps us simplify this a little bit, right? We've got 15 times 12. We've also got to divide by 3. So I can do that all together as one big step. So this and this all ends up being 60. So this whole thing simplifies to 60 times x equals 960. And that's a lot easier to work with. I mean, you could undo each piece and solve this equation in 3 steps. I prefer to do it in 1. Okay, so I simplified this. Now I can just divide both sides by 60, and I've got my height. So x equals whatever 960 divided by 60 is. Hey, 16. So that height is 16 centimeters. There we go. Okay, so volume of a pyramid. Not too hard if you know the formula for the volume of a prism. You just have to remember that one extra step of dividing it by 3. Okay, so hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. Also subscribe because it really helps us out. But with that being said, good luck on your math, and I will see you next time.